Across Europe and the United States, citizens are grappling with a peculiar call to action: stockpile supplies. This isn't fueled by fear of an impending apocalypse or a sense of paranoia. It's official government advice. The European Union, Sweden, Finland, Germany, Switzerland, and even U.S. agencies like FEMA have all urged people to prepare for 72 hours or more of self-reliance. Why now? Because governments quietly see risk on the horizon: cyber attacks, natural disasters, war, and economic disruption. And if you think this is just about bottled water and candles, the data says otherwise. In March 2025, the European Commission formally encouraged all EU citizens to stockpile at least 72 hours' worth of supplies. The reasoning? A changing security landscape, risks named directly: Russia's war in Ukraine, cyber attacks, and climate change. This wasn't symbolic. It was part of an EU-wide civil preparedness strategy acknowledging that critical infrastructure, power, water, food distribution, could all face disruption. In November 2024, Sweden and Finland, two nations that only recently joined NATO, updated their crisis pamphlets. Sweden mailed every household a new version of "In Case of Crisis or War." The pamphlet emphasized preparing for blackouts, food shortages, and even war on European soil. Finland went further, recommending iodine tablets, backup generators, and easy-to-cook food. These measures highlight a shift. Governments in Northern Europe now speak openly about the possibility of armed conflict spreading across borders. Switzerland, in October 2024, relaunched a national campaign: every household should keep at least 1 week of food and water. For Switzerland, this is not new advice, but the urgency was renewed after Russia's escalations. Germany followed suit in 2024, updating its civil defense plans. The standard recommendation: 10 days of food and 5 days of water. These aren't fringe voices. These are some of the wealthiest, most stable nations in Europe, now telling citizens to prepare as if a blackout, supply chain breakdown, or war could hit at any moment. Across the Atlantic, American agencies like FEMA and the CDC have long urged households to have at least 3 days of emergency supplies. But in 2024 and 2025, that message grew louder, tied to inflation, supply shortages, and new tariff policies. Unlike Europe, the U.S. warnings weren't about war on its borders. They were about something more economic: price shocks, inflation, and shortages. Surveys from 2024 and 2025 revealed just how mainstream stockpiling has become in America. 42% of Americans reported stockpiling or planning to start, according to a February 2025 survey. In December 2024, a poll showed 28% already stockpiling, with another 17% preparing to. An April 2025 survey found 64% had accelerated purchases, rising to 72% for Gen Z and millennials. By March 2025, 35% of Americans reported stockpiling in the prior 30 days alone. The drivers were clear: fear of new tariffs that could raise prices on imports, persistent inflation keeping basic goods expensive, and the memory of empty shelves during the pandemic. Across Europe and the US, the lists are strikingly similar: non-perishable foods, toilet paper and household essentials, medical supplies and prescriptions, water filtration systems, and personal care products. But one newer trend is emerging: doom spending. Analysts note some households are overspending, buying far more than needed, driven by anxiety about what's coming next. So, what might actually face shortages? The answer lies in tariffs and supply chains. High-risk categories include consumer electronics, laptops, phones, chargers, apparel and footwear, toys and holiday decor, home goods and kitchenware, automotive parts, medical supplies and pharmaceuticals, and even food staples like coffee, chocolate, olive oil, tomatoes, and avocados. The pattern is simple: if it relies on imported parts or overseas manufacturing, it's at risk. Here's the big picture. Governments across Europe and the US are normalizing stockpiling. What was once a fringe activity is now official policy. And whether it's geopolitical conflict, climate events, or economic tariffs, the message is the same. Don't assume the shelves will always be full. The question is, are we entering an era where stockpiling isn't preparation for disaster, but simply part of everyday life? What do you think? Are these warnings a smart precaution, or a sign that governments see bigger crises ahead? Leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more data-driven analysis on the forces shaping our world by 2030.